And now today, the developer looking in Chinatown is a gold mine. So we start buying off the old building and taking down building to build high rises.
How many businesses, how many laundries, how many people lived in this place? My own church, the Presbyterian church. That church is no more, that playground's no more. And what we have here is this wonderful development of progress, which, if you ask me, could look like any condo. If that's what people want in terms of their vision of Chinatown, I would be sad because it's already here.
I'm afraid of what's going to happen to Chinatown if this pandemic continues.
Hi, I'm Matthew Chan, and I'm the next guest on Rob's Inner Circle.
Hi, my name is Jimmy Chan. I am the next guest of Rob Inner Circles.
Don't go anywhere.
Stay right where you are.
We'll be right back.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Robert DeLester, and I'm the host of Rob's Inner Circle, broadcasting live from Montreal, Canada. We hope that y'all had a fun and safe Halloween yesterday. And as always, for the past few years, for some reason, Halloween is always gloomy, it's dark, and it's rainy, and it's cold. But then again, it is fitting, right? It is Halloween. I want to give a big shout out to the producer of Rob's Inner Circle, none other than the amazing Jenny Duhame, and to the podcast techie on her show, Patty, Lady Starlight Saragosa. In the news, a special thanks for the invitation this past Saturday by the Siegel Center for the tickets to an amazing one-man audience interactive show. There's only a few nights left, and it's a must-see in the newly renovated theatre. Actor Danielle Brochu takes the lead in the dramatic comedy Every Brilliant... Hang on a sec. Let me take that over again. Every Brilliant Thing. That's right. So get your tickets till November 14th. One thing's for sure, you are not going to be sleeping through this presentation. It's really exciting. As Big Records and Rosner Management announced the end of the Rise Up reality series tour for Alberta on Roku, they prepare for the upcoming BC and Eastern tour that will hit us in November with artists in the likes of Sarah Smith, who will be joining them after coming off the Melissa Etheridge cruise tour. Also present on the tour will be David Shawn and Tim Steinruck. Bobby's Short Shorts will be joining forces this month with Big Records Rise Up TV for Men's Health Awareness Month in November. So join us, and if you want to donate, and the link that will be coming up a little bit later on. Our congratulations go out to our good friend and past Rob's Inner Circle guest, Andrew B. He's an actor, and he plays in the short film called Mute. And it has been nominated for the Best International Film Award at the Oregon Film Festival in November. Teresa who? Did you hear Teresa Pichano? Yes, you sure did. Just like not Britney Houston, but Britney Spears. Oops, she's done it again. That's right. Teresa, well, her short film, Maiden Date, it has been chosen as a finalist at the Austin International Art Festival. Just like Andrew B., Teresa, to both of you, we're so excited for you. We wish you the best of luck, and we hope you come away with some awards from all of these festivals. The Noon Hour Out of the Box podcast is now available on Access Internet Radio. Tune in every Saturday between noon and 3 p.m., and you can come and join us during the live chat. You can join myself, co-host Esther Brzezinski, and producer Jenny Duhame, along with all of the other faithfuls that join in every Saturday. And you can come and have a live chat with us. All you got to do is click on the Rock and Chat thumbnail, and you could do all of that. That's accessradio.ca. You want to catch the noon hour out of the box show between noon and 3 p.m. The Daily Struggles sitcom is up and rising on the Rise Up TV channel on the Roku streaming service. If you don't have your Roku streaming stick, not a problem at all. You can get one for as little as $30 on Amazon.ca. All of the Rob's Inner Circle merchandise is readily available at 514brandingco.com. You can get some nice t-shirts on there, some cups, pillows, a whole array of beautiful collectible items. That's 514brandingco.com. And that's thanks to our collective effort with our good friend, Vincent Gargano. We invite you to go visit the Bobby Short Shorts YouTube channel where you can watch all of our productions. We urge you to go click onto the playlists. You want to go check out among the productions that are there, the Rob's Inner Circle podcast, and go watch all our past productions. We invite you to share, comment, like, subscribe to the Bobby Short Shorts YouTube channel, and of course, you want to hit the notification bell because you will be the first to know every time a new production comes out. Well, folks, it's that time once again. It's time to slip into our weekly ritual. This is the time when to sit back, relax, kick up your feet on the edge of the table, take a deep breath, exhale, and let us carry the load. Folks, it's double trouble tonight. We have a duo, a father-son duo tonight. Very, very interesting guests. We are so honored to have them both on our show. The first guest, the son. He's a bodybuilder, a cultural advisor, a massage therapist, a graphic and web designer, and a film editor. The dad. He's a performer, an actor, a public speaker, a philanthropist, an athlete, a community contributor, a stuntman, a choreographer. Folks, these two wear a lot of hats, and they wear them well. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, here are tonight's star attractions on Rob's Inner Circle. Misters Jimmy and Matthew Chan. Thank you so much to the both of you. Thank you for tuning in to Rob's Inner Circle. We are so excited to have two extremely talented people from Montreal. How are you doing?
Very good.
You did good, pretty good. Yeah. Thank you for having us.
It's such an honor, such a pleasure. Without further ado, let's get to know you. Let's start off with Matthew over here. Matthew, tell us where you were born and how it is that you got into this whole business of performing arts and all that.
So I was born here in Montreal. I actually grew up watching my dad do his martial arts and all his performances. So naturally, I started following in his footsteps. That's pretty much how I got started.
Okay, so as you were growing up there, you were seeing your father doing martial arts and all that. Is there a discipline in the martial arts that really caught your attention?
So I actually grew up studying different forms of martial arts, like karate, kung fu, jeet kune do, a few other ones. And the ones that I enjoyed the most were more towards kung fu.
And the discipline of kung fu, what is it exactly? Is that the one where you get to flip your opponent over? You got all these moves. Which discipline is it exactly?
Yeah, so kung fu is the Chinese martial art. So karate would be the Japanese martial art that came from Japan, and kung fu would be from China. So I like that one more, just because it was I don't know. I just enjoyed it more. It's hard to say.
So as you were growing up, were you involved in some form of competitions as you went along?
Yeah, back when I was doing karate as a kid, I did a few competitions. I don't remember much from them, but I do remember pictures of me holding a medal. So I guess I did well as a kid.
So what are the benefits of the martial arts? What did you acquire as a benefit, the martial arts and the discipline that, like in your daily life, did it bring you some kind of personal discipline apart from the fact that you're a training discipline?
Oh yeah, so even as a kid, I already recognized the benefits that I got that were beyond just the physical aspects. So a lot of discipline, a lot of confidence that I developed through martial arts, concentration and focus, all that stuff that carries over into like daily life. So yeah, it's amazing.
Well, speaking of Japan, we have a fellow tuning in by the name of Ryocat. He's a faithful listener here on Rob's Inner Circle. He's actually from Japan. And what is it he's saying here? How you learn some martial arts? Because my dad learned karate. So I guess he's relating to the fact that his dad is a karate a karate expert. Is that the right way to say it? But he practices the discipline of karate. Thanks for tuning in, Ryocat. And thank you to all for tuning in tonight at this amazing evening. So let's get to know you, Mr. Jimmy Chan, film director, actor, producer. You're a stuntman, choreographer. Jimmy, where is it that you were born?
I was born in Guangzhou, Toisan, in China.
Okay, and at which point did you discover you had a love for the arts?
Well, I didn't have a choice. My whole Chan family, we have a tradition in our family culture, and my grandfather, he was a very well-known herbal doctor in China, and he does a lot of charity work. What I mean by that is he see people that not well. When people say that, sorry, I cannot pay you because I don't have a job, whatever. My grandfather always say that's not a problem. You don't even think about paying me. If my medicine could able to give you, a comfort to heal you whatever disease that you have, and that is rewarding to me. And that's my grandfather, and he's it's a spiritual person. It's a very positive person. He's not a very religious man, as I remember him, but he has a unique philosophy in life for giving to human, to the mankind. It's rewarding to him. So to be based on that, he created a lot of philosophy in his life, teaching his 9 kids. My grandfather had 9 kids, and my father is the youngest one in the family. So they have a kung fu school in China. They created their own Changakun, and every year in the village, as I learned from my family, they have a tournament. So whoever win the tournament, whoever in that village, and they will take control of many resources in China at the time. And it's interesting how things goes, and it's a legendary thing. And I learned the art from my grandfather since I was a kid. And so they sort of start off from a basic, right where my grandfather was.
So it's my understanding that spirituality and martial arts go hand in hand. Is that something you agree upon, either Matthew or Jimmy?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so how do you incorporate spirituality with the martial arts field?
It's actually it's not very hard to understand it. Being trained physically strong, okay, and it is something that anybody. There's no age limit. You could train it when you're very young age, and you could train yourself in let's say you're 70, 80 years old. You still want to keep on training to be strong internally, and hopefully they will bring more immune system, stronger immune system into your body that could conquer many diseases. So this is where they come from, spirituality, that they believe that it's a connection between the heaven and earth. So once you able to open up that channel inside your soul, okay, then we will absorb the energy from the heaven and earth together into your practice, whatever qigong martial art that you do, it will help develop, okay, another form of power, the energy, whatever your training will adopt. That is spiritual thing that you got to believe in it, practice it, and be confidence and faith in it. It's not going to be like develop that power in on a day or two. It takes time. Sometimes it takes years to develop that kind of a skill. That's yeah.
So Matthew, what is the motivation behind learning the discipline of martial arts? Is it like for combat training, self-defense strategies? Let's take this on a personal level for yourself. Why is it that you wanted to learn martial arts to start off with? Like I was saying, because if for yourself, or is actually as a self-defense mechanism?
So when I was a kid, I just started off because that was what my dad was doing. So, but as you get older, I realized that martial arts is actually part of our culture. So, just it was one way to connect with that culture was to do martial arts. And as I got even more into it, I realized that martial arts offers so many benefits. Like I mentioned before, you develop discipline, focus, concentration. You get physically stronger, mentally stronger. Yeah.
Okay. Are you a sensei teacher now, or do you still practice the sport? Like I know you're more into bodybuilding, but you still practice it somehow?
Yeah. Every now and then I still practice. Of course, it's important for me to maintain that. Otherwise, all those years of training would go to waste.
Okay, so for parents asking the question, Matthew, what age do you recommend that a child starts taking classes?
I don't know, as soon as they could walk.
Oh, yeah, that early?
Yeah, even younger. No, not even younger. But in China, they have the Shaolin Temple. They would have kids there. They would be like under 5 years old. They would start training already. The younger, the better. Yeah.
Jimmy, you spent some time in Hong Kong and in Okinawa, Japan. So while you were in Japan, what is it that happened there exactly?
Okay, let's go back the time when I was 3 years old. I still remember. Well, that's why my parents and my uncle keep telling me that. You see, at that time, I have. You see, the thing is, like in the Chan family, in the China culture, they consider the boy, the firstborn. If it's a boy, they have to learn and inherit everything in the family. But what happened? The oldest, my cousin, he was the firstborn as a boy in the Chan family, but he's never showed the interest to learn about martial art and kung fu or anything else like that. So he moved on. He moved out from the village and then he went to Boston. There was at that time, and then I was born afterward, and so my grandfather told my parents that this kid got to learn whatever we have. So I didn't have a choice, right? So what happened is, as per our family tradition, I'm not allowed to learn or even know about the training, the kung fu when my grandfather think I'm ready. But what happened? I was born with the nature that I like to learn this kind of stuff. But my grandfather and my father, they didn't know that. So every time that they start training outside, my uncle, my 5 uncles, my father, my grandfathers, and they were training every morning. I was sneak around and watching what they do. So I'm kind of learning. And I'm learning why they training all these things. And then one day, my grandfather said, okay, now Jimmy is ready for his first lesson. Guess what happened? I knocked them all out because I already know the form, already strong enough because I was doing all this time. So so I my ability started right there. Without my grandfather actually showing me the basic what to do. I already watched what they do. I already learned it that way. And my uncle, my third uncle, was in Okinawa. He was a filmmaker, also a photographer. Also, I learned it from my I learned it from my third uncle, the 35 millimeter back in the old days and things like that. And so he told my father that, why don't you send Jimmy over? I have a house and I have a place for him to stay. So why don't you send him over? So my father said, okay. So I don't really know where I am supposed to be going. So I end up I realized I was in Japan, Okinawa. So I started learning karate at the time, because in Japan you get to learn three things actually, either judo, karate, or baseball. Judo, I don't like to be flip around all the time. I don't want to do a baseball like a ball hit on my head. I started learning karate. I said I'm really into it. I really enjoy doing the art, doing the form, right? So I really into that, and so I started learning Wado Liu, the way of peace, Wado Kai, and Shaolin Liu in Okinawa at the time. So when I left Okinawa, still at a young age at the time, I believe 14 years old. So I went to Hong Kong for a year and then came here in Canada. So yeah, so I was still underage at that time. So
So tell us, Matthew, how many forms of martial arts are there? Because if you stop to think, besides there could be judo, karate, taekwondo, but is there as many as they say that there are? How many forms of the martial arts are there out there?
There's hundreds. Even within karate and kung fu, you got different styles of karate and kung fu. Back in China and Japan, every village would have their own style. So, yeah, a lot.
Have you worked with the nunchuka, nunchucks, and the staff, the bow? Have you worked with those with that equipment?
A little bit with the sword and some staff, which is the long stick.
How about you, Jimmy? Have you worked with that?
Oh yeah, I love doing that nunchuck.
I watch these martial artists playing around with that. I go, God forbid the guy misses a shot. You hit yourself on the head with that. It's gonna put some sense into you there.
Yeah, of course. First you train with 2 pieces of plastic. You can buy them anywhere. Then when you become a little bit more sophisticated, more serious, when you get to another level, you want to train with the real stuff, So that if you're not coordinate properly, you're gonna hit the back of the head, and you're gonna hit the forehead.
Oh, wow.
That happens sometimes, even though you become very good at it, things happen. So yeah, it's all part of the game for training.
So you wear many hats, Jimmy. Yeah, you're into martial arts. We talked about martial arts. You're also a quality control inspector specialist for the world's first class, best Canadian flight simulator manufacturer company and pilots training program in the world. That's CAE. So tell us a little bit of what you do at CAE.
That's right. I'm a quality control inspector specialist. It's a big title. Big name, but we have a lot of responsibility. When the flight simulator ready to ship to the customer, the client come, the pilot came and do the acceptance, and us as inspector, we making sure everything goes to the customer 100%. We got to have the eyes of the customer. So this is a very sophisticated responsibility. We have to make sure that everything that requirement to send out the flight train simulator to the airline, they're ready for the pilot for training. So it's something we are proud. We are proud about what our job, our vision is. Yeah.
So do you hold a pilot's license?
No, I don't. No. I have too many other passions, so I don't have the time for that yet. Not yet, anyway. Yeah.
So Matthew, let's go to you. So a bit like your dad, you're in the film business. You're not necessarily an actor, though you have been doing some acting. You're more in post-production. And your dad informs us that you are an exceptional editor and that you have edited each and every one of his short films that he has on his YouTube channel called Jimmy Chan. So tell us about how it is that you grew this passion of being a film editor.
Yeah, so it started off when I was really young. I really liked watching videos and music videos. So I would always wondered about doing that myself. So I started doing my own projects, doing some music videos, taking clips from different movies and turning those clips into music videos is what I mean. So I just did that for fun. And then eventually I found a way to monetize that skill. And I found a way to help my dad with his projects because eventually he would ask me to do his videos too. So that's actually where things picked up for me as an editor.
And so, in terms of working as an actor, Matthew, you said you've worked on some films as well, and one big production as well at some point.
Yeah, so I started off doing background work as an extra, and at one point they needed one of the movies I was in needed someone who looked like me to say one line, and my dad happened to know the producer there, so he got me in. He got me that line.
Okay, Jimmy, going back to you right now, you have a connection with Le Cirque du Soleil. So,
Yes.
among the thousands of things that you do,
Yeah.
What is the connection you have with the Cirque du Soleil?
Well, this is something that is still I would say is that it's still in the back of my head, right? When in 2000, 2005, I don't remember which year, 2005, 2006, right? And I got a phone call, and there was the one of the talent casting department called me, wanted to talk to me. So I asked them what you need from me. I said they said so they've been looking for me for quite some time. I said, are you kidding? I said, for what? They said we would like you to coach. There's 9 top Japanese acrobat and break dancer from Japan. I said, well, I'm not a break dancer, I know martial art, but they said that, but I'm really looking for someone like you because Michael Jackson, this is a show that we want to do called Michael Jackson, the Immortal World Tour. So Michael Jackson, when he was alive, he loved 2 kind of animal. He loved the elephants and the monkey. So they know someone who able to manipulate to do the monkey part of it on the show, but for the elephant, they have been knocking on many doors and have been doing a lot of interview with casting. Couldn't find anybody able to build the choreography and manipulate the elephant, making sure the elephant come out lively, and it's like a real elephant. So they said they've been looking for someone like me for a long time. So they couldn't find anybody in Montreal to say. So they went to China. But what happened when they went to China? They went to. This is what they told me. They went to a temple. They didn't tell me it's a Shaolin temple or what kind of temple. They said went to a temple. He said we're looking for someone like that. And the person that in the temple said, you guys from Montreal, there's one person just right there in Montreal where you want you just call him up. So that person provide him this casting agent that all the information. So they called me in Montreal. So they told me the whole story why they wanted me. So they heard about what I can do. Because since I was a kid, I love to manipulate myself to turn myself into different kind of animals. So I intimidate, I do all kind of animal movements, and obviously we have our Chan Lion Dance Club because of my family. So I learned it, since I was very young, the drumming and everything, and the whole 9 years. So when I went to Cirque du Soleil, I look at the mechanism of the elephant right away. I know there's a lot of things have to be modified. But the thing is, in Cirque du Soleil, once the designer signed it, the document say this is a design, and not going to change anything. It's tough love. You got to find someone to know how to do this. So I went into the picture. So I make it happen for them. So they were really happy. So ever since then, so I was with they wanted me to be there with Cirque du Soleil, and there was many other shows that I was training. I'll go back to do martial art, do other things. And the last one that I did for Cirque du Soleil was Max 10, with which is a soccer game, and also the Chinese lions. But they don't want a Chinese lions. They want to transform a Chinese lion into the African lions. And that was another challenge for me. So I accepted the project, and I also make it happen. It was premiere in 2019 in Barcelona in Spain, and apparently I heard that they will be showing it again. The show to say coming back now after the pandemic. They will be doing it again, the show again in somewhere around the world. So, yeah.
So, Matthew, to move on to you right now, we were talking about the film world. You're also involved with web and graphic design. So, do you incorporate that somehow with the film business?
Yeah, actually, for every project that we have, I create a website for it. I do movie posters, logos, graphic design. Just for promotional purposes for the movies that we do. So yeah, it's a very useful skill to have.
So right now you're working in post-production. Is there any chance that you may develop the interest of going to production as well?
Oh, yes, of course. I've always been interested in actually going back in front of the camera eventually, if there's any opportunities out there.
Well, with all the films your dad shoots, I'm sure there must be one opportunity that's going to pop up sometime.
Oh, yeah. I mean, sometimes we'll create my own opportunities by, I've been in front of the camera for some of my dad's stuff as well. I even had my own productions where I was in front of the camera. So,
yeah. I'm looking at you, Jimmy, right now, and I'm sure the thought has crossed people in the audience and all the thousands of people around the world watching this show right now and afterwards. Jimmy, are you by any slight chance related to Jackie Chan?
Oh, many people ask me that. It's just like I met Jackie Chan a couple of times in Montreal. Actually, ever since I was a kid, I wanted to be an actor, and but always the opportunity come to me many times. But the thing is, I was always underage. In the Chinese, in my family, my parents they always don't believe in what I wanted to do, right? And but this is always something that is my deepest passion. Being an actor, making film. This is what I wanted to do in life. But then again, it's always a time in life that it's like a roller coaster ride. It's never really go along what I wanted. But still, making film, being an actor, I always believe my biggest break haven't arrived yet. Even though I know that I have done so many things in the entertainment industry, but I'm still waiting for my biggest break ever. Jackie came. How many years ago? I don't remember. More than 20-something years ago, and he came to Montreal especially to receive the award from the Montreal International Film Festival. It's a super action hero. There was the special award for him, and then when I was in front representing the China community to welcome him, and during the conference, when he came, I sit right in the front, and when he came up, he looked at me straight into my eyes, and then afterward, when the conference is over, I have a plaque ready to give it to him. And after that, took a couple of pictures, and he actually have his assistant calling me. He wanted to offer me a contract, but unfortunately, I couldn't take the contract at the time because my wife was pregnant. So, so that's my family is more important than anything else for me. So he respect me for that. He understand. He said, opportunity probably may come back to me later on. When I'm quite ready for it. Well, I'm ready now. I'm ready. Come to me. I'm ready.
Say, Matthew, I watched the movie not long ago. It's a 2010 production with Jackie Chan and the Jaden Smith, the Karate Kid. Now you're watching the movie. Obviously, it's an hour and a half. Of course, you can't learn all of that in an hour and a half. But the way it seems to be depicted in the film, that within 6 or 7 months, it could become such a lethal weapon like that young child. How far from the truth is that? And how many years of practice do you need to become anything that comes close to that?
Yeah, so it takes years to get that good. I mean, in the movie, he beat up these kids who've been training since they were born. And here Jaden Smith comes in and just learns in a matter of a few months enough karate to beat up those kids. You would need a really good teacher, but even then, it takes a really long time, many years. Yeah.
Because martial arts it's a lot of coordination.
Yeah, a lot of coordination. Just not that. You need a lot of practice. Just fighting, to be able to fight people that well, you need a lot of practice fighting people. Yeah.
So, Jimmy, let's go back to filming over here. You recently finished off a project, Saving Chinatown, Rise of the Dragon. That's a documentary that you filmed over 3 years. A very important documentary and very meaningful. So tell us all about the documentary, Saving Chinatown.
Well, as you know, during the pandemic's time, since last year, March, when everybody wakes up in the world, wonder what's happening, right? So everybody learned that that's called COVID-19. That's how the pandemic started, and people were all in fear. And the next thing you know, the Chinese people was bring it on, say that this is a Chinese virus, which is giving a lot of excuse to a lot of people to have discrimination against the Chinese. The racism started attacking the Chinese community. The racism, vandalism, it's constantly happening. And Chinatown, the Chinese community, not in peace. Not just only Montreal, it's all North America. And let's go back, like in my 30 years of serving our Chinatown, the Chinese community. My father had restaurant in Chinatown. My father-in-law, Mr. Paul Wu, who built the very first noodle factory, the China grocery store, and the China restaurant in Chinatown, Montreal. And that was a give up whole area, and now becoming the social housing, because the government liked more and more land back, so therefore they could do their own projects. So this is what happened, except what happened at those times. So I've been learning our culture, our heritages back then, more than 100 years ago, how Chinese people, having a hardship to come all the way from China, sacrifice their life, looking for a better land for the next generation. And then they end up here and opened up minding that they can railroad, as everybody knows, that the China community, everybody understand the hardship that the Chinese people, the first immigrant Chinese have gone through. And then they came here and they make they have been told, actually, but right back 100 years ago, say, the Chinese people arrive in Montreal, say, this is where you're going to stay. You don't get out. This is where you're going to stay. So this happened everywhere else in North America. So they become Chinatown, because at that time only men allowed to come, because they need men to do all the other labor job, right? So I have been learning all these things. I said one day I would like to make a documentary about a lot of filmmakers have been making many documentary like Golden Mountain and all that, but I think I would like to have a documentary about the hardship that people will tell about the grandparents, their parents, and even themselves, what they have been gone through. They never really have a chance and courage to talk about it, to share the platform. So this is how the story began in 2018, the beginning of 18. But what happened, it took me almost a year to select the people to interview. The people that are connected, invite them to do the film. It took me a long time because a lot of people say no. But I think it's like I'm very fortunate that many people have the courage to come up to share the sadness, the sorrow have been hidden inside them for a long time. But they will be thanking at the end that the documentary actually created a platform for them to come out and say, no, this is what happened to me. I want to pass on to my next generation, so therefore they could be proud to be a Chinese Canadian. And then, but during the COVID-19 last year, it didn't help, and a lot of things, and the people are not easy, as easy to come out, because of social distances and things like that, right? So the whole documentary is based on courage, stand up for your right, speak up for other people, and to share your feeling with your children, your grandchildren, to the next generation, okay? And for other people to learn about our culture, to understand who we are. We are not the virus carrier. We are a normal human being, just like everybody else wanted, doing our best to to survive in the country, and to bring better life to our next generation. So documentary about. Yeah.
Matthew, I need to ask you this question here. The Chinese community, there's Chinatowns all over the world, especially here in North America. Have you visited the New York and Vancouver Chinatowns?
I haven't personally, but I've heard that they're really big, a lot bigger than Montreal.
Okay, is there any interaction, some kind of a group work among the communities across North America? It's like a gathering. Do you collaborate somehow with other North American cities with their Chinatowns?
Yes. All the family associations they exist across North America in every Chinatown. So my dad has more information on that because he's actually the leader of one of the family associations, and every year they travel to other provinces to visit the other association of that family.
Jimmy, you want to elaborate a little bit on that before we go into the family restaurant business? Because we're going to be bringing in a special guest tonight, someone who's very dear to you. But before we go on to that, we have a question from Japan. Ryukat, did you ever meet Bruce Lee?
Oh, yeah. Well, never meet Bruce Lee because it's the age gap. I do remember when I went back to Hong Kong for visit at 1 year. I was doing jogging, and I saw this guy running really fast, and people were taking picture and things like that, right? At that time, there's a lot of news reporter were after him. So I don't know who that was at that time until later on, and I realized that there was Bruce Lee. Yeah, or else I was running after him too, but unfortunately, no. No, I never met him. No, never met him. I would like to. It would be an honor to meet him at that time. But yeah, that was the time that I saw him actually. Yeah.
So to go back to the question, you're the leader of the Chinese community across North America. Can you elaborate somewhat on that?
Yes, I'm very honored to be the China Association president for many years, over 10 years now, and I must be doing something right for the association, right? And for all my respect and to everybody, I really enjoy and the companion. To me, being the president, it's just a title. I've been serving our community for more than 30 years, as I mentioned before, and I'm learning of our Chinese heritage, our history and everything, right? But to me, to take care of the elders, it's our responsibility to be their leader. It's not about power. It's about responsibility. So that is what I've been doing all this time, and then serving our community, right? And as a leader, okay, let's move the word leader away as a person, as a volunteer. That is what I do. Okay, especially last year when through the pandemic, the elder people, I want to keep them inside the residence in Chinatown. I don't want them to come out. Even the kids cannot come to see them. Luckily, I have a restaurant called Walk Cafe in the West Island. So I asked all the eldest people in Chinatown, in Singapore and La Cochichia area. I told them, you want food, call me, let me know. I will cook whatever you want. I will deliver to your doorstep. I will leave it there. You come down and pick them up. And this is what I've been doing. This is part of my contribution to pay back to the community. So our restaurant also donated last year, from last year March until sometime this year. I think like last 16, 17 months, we have donated, our restaurant have donated more than 5,000 meals.
Wow.
To the frontline worker
amazing.
and frontline worker, and also I deliver volunteering, deliver to many hospitals, to all the nurses, to the healthcare worker. It's to tell them, just to tell them that thank you for all your hard work and dedication, saving life, and then I want them to feel appreciated.
Hats off to Walk Cafe. Absolutely. We're gonna have Susan come on and have her elaborate a little bit more, because she's running the restaurants, the 3 restaurants you got. But before we go on to your lovely wife, one last question for Matthew over here, because he is a bodybuilder, and it would be shameful not to get into the discussion here of bodybuilding. So you went from martial arts to bodybuilding. How is it that you decided to make that transition?
So as I got more into martial arts, I found myself becoming more interested in the fitness aspect of martial arts, such as the physical training. And that eventually led me on to going to the gym, which led me to bodybuilding.
It's a very difficult discipline to get into bodybuilding, because it's a routine every day. You got to respect a certain part of that routine. And you were telling me that Rocky influenced you. You were drinking those raw eggs. Matthew, how can you do that?
I didn't do it exactly the same way he did in the movies. I would mix the raw eggs with other things like juice just to hide the flavor.
Oh my goodness. And I guess diet is very important when you're a bodybuilder. So what's your diet like?
Yeah, so diet is actually the most important part. So back then I was eating a lot of chicken breasts, broccoli and rice, almost the same thing every day.
Wow, that's amazing. So you're very disciplined, man. You're both very disciplined. And I guess there's someone else who's very disciplined in the family. Jimmy, is Susan ready to come on?
Yeah, she just came home.
Okay, is she around?
Yeah. Hi.
Susan
Hi.
Chan, welcome to Rob's Inner Circle. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Susan, you're the manager of the 3 Walk Cafes.
Mhm.
So that must be pretty challenging, managing 3 restaurants.
It's challenging, but I enjoy it very well.
What is the aspect that you like the most about owning restaurants?
I don't know, just meeting people, having good feedback that they appreciate our food, and it's just meeting people. I love all my customers.
I remember once that when we did our pre-interview, Susan, you were so worried about coming on camera, but you know what? You're a natural.
Oh, thank you.
You're a natural. I guess it runs in the family. You got an excellent coach and Jimmy right beside you. Have you ever participated in any of Jimmy's films?
Yeah,
I'm kind of shy. He usually has to bribe me a bit. Which one did we do?
a long time ago, 20 years ago.
Oh man.
With in the old restaurant downtown. Remember that about the lady that lost the wallet.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
I don't
yeah.
remember the name. It was so old. The short film.
Yeah.
Did
I have to stay in the back.
did Matthew edit that one too?
Yeah, he edited everything. That's when he
Unbelievable.
was-
He's all over the place.
Yeah, he was when he was a kid. When I discovered that he has this special talent, right?
Uh-huh.
So at that time, the technology of computer is starting up, right? So I went and I bought the most powerful computer ever, okay? And I gave it to him. I said, "This is your gift. Then use it," you know. So he really enjoying it. So he used it, and then every year he upgrade, and now he's a professional well, he learned the basic from school, right? But actually, and everything that he got, right, that he know today, there's such an amazing editor. You know, he because the father pushed him.
No choice.
No choice because the father pushed him. I pushed him. I said, "Here, the computer, take care of it," you know. So, but he enjoyed doing that. So he's very creative, right? So, he's getting really good. You know, he said, and so I even texted him, Hollywood is looking for you. Seriously, Hollywood is knocking on your door. You just have to say that, "Here I am."
So Susan, you're a proud mom. You're a mom of 7 children.
Yes.
Is everybody in the family either inclined towards the restaurant business or acting or the performing arts?
I think only Matthew is following the father's footstep. Everybody else is doing their own thing. My eldest daughter, she works for Walmart. I think she's a buyer. My other daughter, now she just had a baby, so she's a stay-at-home mom. We have the third daughter. She does online, doing very well. Cakes, cookies.
Wow.
Doing very well. And then the other son, he's a sound engineer. He's the one that does the sound for Jimmy's movies, right, Michael?
Yeah,
You forgot him.
My
Yeah.
kid, three of my kids, three of my boys actually. We have 4 boys and 3 girls, right? 3 of my boys actually, they're very good in film production. And I have a big crews in my company. I have other people outside also. Yeah, but I'm really proud to say that our kid is very efficient because I'm there. They don't have a choice. It's like, do it this way, I don't, and do it that way. It's like I manipulate most of their stuff that I wanted to do. It's not like here. Yeah, this is finished. No. I'm very picky in a way. Had to be. As you watch the documentary, it took me 3 years to make, and one person interview, it might take like several hours. Now I have so many. I have like more than 50 people interviewed in that film. We have like
A lot of footage.
thousands of hours of dialogue have to go through to connect them all together. Yeah. It's
So,
like show.
we have a question, Patty. I don't know if you can flash that question back up. Something to do with the flex. I think it came from our. There you go. Can we
What's the
see a
flex?
flex?
From Matthew or
It's pink thirst. Oh, there you go. Okay, that's what they're saying. Hey, Matthew, hang on. We're gonna have a take 2 in that. You ready? Matthew, action.
outside?
There you go. There you have it. But if you missed the show, you can always watch it again.
And the audience happy.
Yeah.
Audience happy now.
Oh boy. Hey, I wouldn't dare, Matthew, go up against you to show you my flex.
Lucky,
No comparison
you know what?
whatsoever.
lucky. I treat the boy right when they were kids.
Yeah.
They're all big. Right now they're all bigger and taller than I am.
Tell us, Susan, has Walk Cafe catered on some of Jimmy's films, which sounds fitting?
Yes, we support a lot of
Oh,
his
you do?
films. We cater to them. We lend him the restaurant to do some filming. We're open to him. Of
Yeah.
course.
So you have 3 locations. This is the time to plug your restaurants. You have 3 locations, okay?
Yeah.
So where is Wok Cafe situated exactly?
The main one is on Sources, 3510 Boulevard des Sources in DDO. It's in the West Island.
Right?
We have one up in Saint Adele. It's a bar resto. That's on 146 Moraine Street. And then we just opened one in Kirkland, 118 Jabari.
So are you? Do you visit each of these locations somehow during the week?
Yeah. It's me and 2 other partners. So we take turn rotating, and otherwise we're human, right? We're not robots. So yeah, we're tired sometimes, but the 3 partners is all girls, we're all sister-in-laws. So I think the way the way we handled it together for 20 years now, we work
20
well.
years.
We never work together. We're never at the same place at the same time.
So that's the secret.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit. What is the menu like? What's your specialty at Wok Cafe?
Well, of course, General Tao chicken, right? General Tao chicken, our salt and pepper chicken wings. You'll have to come down one day.
You know what? I'm going to take you up on that offer because it's such a great invitation because my girlfriend is of Asian origin. She's
great.
Vietnamese.
Okay.
And this is the type of food that she loves. And I will definitely go to Wok Cafe.
For sure. We'll make it a date.
We'll make it a date. And which Wok Cafe are you at, Susan?
I usually go between the one in Dollard or in Kirkland. This week I'm in Kirkland, and then next week I'll be in Dollard.
Are you there on weekends?
Yes.
Okay, so you know we have a date.
Okay.
Sweetheart, you listening? We're going to Wok Cafe. So where do we go from here, Jimmy and Matthew? Matthew, we'll give you a chance to say a couple of words here. Where do we go from here? What are your plans for the future?
So I have an online business. My plan is to continue working on that and expanding it, as well as my other businesses that I have on the side, such as I got a massage business that I'm running on the side, as well as entertainment business. I'm just trying to work on those, expand all those. So in a few years, I'm planning to make those grow a lot.
Do you have a website?
Yes. For my online business, I'm selling t-shirts and merchandise. It's called oolongtea.shop.
Oolong Tea, and how do you write that?
So OOLONGTEE.shop.
.shop. Oh,
yeah, so that's the main thing.
It's terrific. So, folks, you'll be able to go on to oolongtea.com. .shop, to go shop for all the amazing merchandise. Jimmy, we're getting close to the end of the show over here. Let us not forget that you were involved in the beginning of the Beijing Opera here in Montreal. So can you tell us a little bit about the origins? Because today, Aurora Liang, who is a part of the Beijing Opera, and folks, if you want to go watch the episode of Aurora Liang, she's on episode 11 on Rob's Inner Circle. She can tell you all about the Beijing Opera. Jimmy, how is it that you started off the Beijing Opera?
You're going back like at least 20-something years ago, and when we still have our Chinatown Cultural Center at the time, right? I was the director of the youth program and the cultural, the director to take up the cultural aspect. Then I received a call from Concordia University. Wanted to meet me, and so we had a meeting. So they told me about this Professor Lu from Beijing Opera will be coming in for cultural exchange in Concordia. He will be teaching a Beijing Opera program, but he doesn't speak English, so he needs a translator. So he asked me if I'm able to translate. So I said, yeah, no problem. I will be, I will be doing it. I do whatever I can, right? So, when Professor Lu arrived with his top student Michelle Jia, They came, and then that's how the very first time I met them, right, in the airport. And then I drove them to Concordia and to sell them in the resident. And afterward, and give them a tour in Concordia University, and they meet the professor in Concordia, Mr. Robert Reed. So since then, we have became very good friends. So I learned the very first time I learned about Beijing operas. I was never really related with that culture in the Beijing opera, that kind of a concept. I'm more like an action guy, like martial art, and like the jumping from one area to the other. But the thing is that in Beijing opera, to me, always like more singing, like an opera singing, like in a Chinese way, and also the big costume and things like that. But I started we become into it, really interesting. So this is how I captured it, and so at that time they created they call the Beijing. I think it's a Beijing Opera Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a time that was created. I was really honored to be part of it, and so yeah, it's how I started my new journey of Beijing Opera. I'm really into it. I just don't have the time to learn the art.
That's totally fantastic. So, Susan, just to recap, Walk Cafe is it the type of restaurant you need to have reservations, or you just show up?
It's a casual family style, I guess. It's has a dining room. We do a lot of takeouts, Uber, DoorDash, skip the dishes, everything. Yeah.
Matthew, are you working on a film with your dad? Is anything coming up? Is there anything in the works that we're going to be seeing soon? Some other film? Is there a sequel coming up?
Yeah, we're actually planning on doing a second documentary. My dad told you about it just before. Right now, we're looking for funding to help finance the second part, just because we put so much money of our own into the first part. So now we're looking to get a bigger budget. So the second part we're planning to make this an even bigger production and an even more bigger success than the first one.
I saw the documentary and it was absolutely heart-stopping. Is very, very well done. Great work. I love the drone shots in there. You're an exceptional editor, Matthew. You're a terrific director, film producer, Jimmy. Very talented family. Congratulations to you all for all of your success in the restaurant business. We didn't have a chance. We're out of time. You're also a great drummer. You started off the Beijing Opera. You're working at CAE. Jimmy, is there something you don't do?
Well, you know what,
place, Jimmy.
As I said before, my grandfather. Listen, my grandfather always say that to me when I was a kid. Right? I said, sleeping is all depend on how your physical being is. If your physical being is strong enough, you don't need so much sleep. So that's what he said to me. But if you have a lot of passion, okay, you take 2 or 3 lifetime to do them. Don't sleep. Do them to fulfill your dreams. So this
Those are very wise words from a very wise man.
Yeah. So therefore, I'm very happy. I'm very happy if I get 3.5 or 4 hours sleep a day.
I don't know how you do it.
Honest to God, I asked my wife. I'm not kidding.
Unreal. The Chan family can ask you to stand by, stay backstage. They're going to be closing the show, and this is your opportunity to thank the audience for coming in.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, all the audience. You guys are fantastic. Thank you, Robert, having us. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, everyone.
And you can watch the show once again right after it's going to finish. You can watch it on the Bobby Short Shorts YouTube channel. Go onto the playlist that says Rob's Inner Circle. And tonight's episode with the Chan family, Matthew and Jimmy Chan. Susan, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And thank you to the both of you. Stand by. I'll be coming back for you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There you have it, folks. That was Matthew and Jimmy Chan that joined us tonight. 2 amazing people who were involved in the film business, involved in the Chinese cultural in the Chinese culture, in Chinatown in Montreal, amazing people. Wok Cafe is the place you want to go. Check it up on the internet, on Google. They have 3 locations. They got one in St. Agathe, one in Kirkland, and the other one in Dollar des Ormeaux. Thank you, folks, for joining us this evening. And next week, we're going to have another amazing guest. He's none other than the head of Big Records label and Rise Up TV's Mark Rosner, who also hosts the Rise Up podcast. Thank you to everyone. We'll be seeing you next week, next time, same place, same reason. Good night, everybody.